This was the most difficult interview ever. When the candidates received their test papers, they were stunned. The test paper was completely blank. The candidates were puzzled, but they dared not speak, because before the exam began, the examiner had announced 3 strict rules: no talking to the examiner or security, no leaving the room, and no damaging the test paper. Breaking any of these rules would result in immediate disqualification. Upon hearing this, everyone fell silent, because the first rule was no talking to the examiner. Seeing that no one responded, the examiner started the 80-minute countdown and quickly left the room. The candidates sat there, staring at the blank test papers, not knowing what to do. They didn't even know what the exam questions were. As time passed, one woman finally couldn't take it anymore. She thought the company wanted them to write a career report, so without hesitation, she began writing on the paper. But before she could finish her first sentence, a security guard walked over and directly escorted her out of the room. It turned out that she had violated the 3rd rule: no writing on the test paper. Seeing the woman disqualified for writing, everyone quickly put their pens down. As they sat there confused, a man suddenly started laughing. He realized that the examiner had only mentioned 3 rules, so if they didn't break any of those, they should be fine. To test his theory, he casually greeted the man sitting next to him. After all, the rules only said they couldn't talk to the examiner or the security guards, but didn't mention anything about speaking with other candidates. Sure enough, the security guard didn't react when they spoke to each other. Feeling more confident, Jack stood up and even started walking around the room. The security guard still didn't react. Seeing that Jack's actions were allowed, the others finally dared to speak. They began discussing why the test paper was just a blank sheet. At this point, Annie stood up. She thought the test paper was made of some special material, and maybe the questions would appear if they shone light on it. Others agreed with Annie's idea, so they began shining lights on the paper, hoping the questions would show up. But after a few attempts, nothing changed. Then John suddenly had an idea. What if they used a special kind of light, like UV or infrared? But there were no such lights in the room. Just as everyone was falling into despair, Annie noticed something. There were emergency lights installed on the walls.